Hi, everyone. Hi. All right. Hello, ladies. So, welcome to DoD Social Media Summer Camp. We don't have anyone joining us tonight, but for those of you who are going to see this video later, hopefully you'll learn something from it. And please join us next week for the webinar that we will have on a different theme. All right, so before I go ahead and get started, I'll read the introduction, which is something that we'll do every single time we have a webinar. So just go ahead and bear with me. All right, so welcome to Daughters of the Diaspora, or DoD Social Media Summer Camp. So before we get started, I just wanted to set some ground rules for today's session. So the first and most important thing to remind everyone is that this is a safe space, meaning that no question or comment is stupid. But at the same time, there's no room for trolls, and we will not entertain hateful comments. But with that said, I want to encourage each and every one of you to really chime in, ask questions, post comments. I, Bianca, will be moderating today. And I will be the only one who can see your questions and comments, so please go ahead and post and don't be shy. And these sessions are meant to be interactive, meaning that you get out what you put in. So like I said, please go ahead and participate. And we're going to go ahead and get started. So that is what I would say. If there are people here to participate. If there are people here to participate, but for now, I'll just go ahead and share with you guys the presentation that I had for tonight. And remember, if you do have any questions or comments, you can go ahead and post them on our Instagram, our Twitter, or just feel free to email me at bianca@dodiaspora.org, and I can go ahead and answer any questions that you might have. All right, so let's go ahead and get started. I hope everyone can see the slides okay. All right, so our presentation tonight is going to be about definition and about no, can't see the slides? Oh, okay. I will try again. Excellent. All right. All good? Okay. So we're going to be talking about power tonight, and the first thing that I have for you all is just a wonderful, wonderful quote by Alice Walker, who is the author of the book The Color Purple. And it says, the most common way people give up their power is by thinking that they don't have any. So that's just food for thought for us as we go through our discussion tonight about what it means to have power and to define your power for yourself. And there's the quote that you were all supposed to be able to see. All right, so remember, you are powerful. Alice Walker wrote The Color Purple in 1982, and it highlighted many different aspects of Black women's lives. In the end, the protagonist, or main character, Celie, grows from a girl who is the victim of molestation to a strong woman who revels in love and sisterhood. Celie found her power despite many attempts at people trying to steal it from her. So let's define power so that way we can hold it and cherish it. I'll go ahead and put up those definitions for you all now. So power is a noun and means the ability to influence the behavior of others with or without resistance. And then we have empower, which is a verb. That means to give power or authority to. So the whole point of this discussion, this presentation, and of the work that Daughters of the Diaspora does is to empower you and to help guide you in discovering your own power. So as a woman, vulnerability is a large part of reclaiming and harnessing your power. In order to be powerful and influence the behaviors of others and lead, you must give full disclosure at all times. So this is not to say that you should recount your most intimate moments, but you should not act like you have anything to hide. Be as open about your failures as you are about your successes. And all of that is something very important to keep in mind in terms of owning your own power, being open and being honest about your failures and your successes, which we're actually going to talk about in a little brainstorm session. So at this point now, you can all go ahead and take a piece of paper, or this is just something that you can do in your heads. And we are going to do a brainstorming activity about our failures and our successes. So for this brainstorming activity, I'll just go back. So for the brainstorming activity, what I would like you to do is to go ahead and make a chart, and you're going to divide it in half. So I actually have exactly what that should look like. Can you all see that? It might be too bright. I can't tell, but hopefully you can see it. So essentially what this is, it's a table, and you're going to divide it into two columns. And one column you'll have failures, and another column you'll have successes. And what I'd like for y'all to do is just take a couple of minutes and think about some of the failures and successes that you've had in your life so far. So these could be things related to academics, things maybe related to your social life, just anything in your life. And you can go ahead and maybe jot down 4 successes and 4 failures. And this is something that you can keep for yourself and really reflect on, because it's really important to, you know, in order to think about goals that you might have for your future, it's really important to think about how in the past you failed, and how you can grow and learn from that failure, and also how you succeeded and how you can continue to harness and reproduce that success. So y'all can do that in your own time, but for now I'll go ahead and keep on moving forward. So my next question is, where does power come from? So I'll read the slide. Power comes from within.
Wait, I have a a failure and a success to help along.
Oh, excellent. All right. So we're going to have Joy share a failure and a success for us to kind of give you all an idea of some things that you could write in your own chart. Yeah, go ahead.
So I would say a failure is from when I was in high school. Actually, I wanted to be class president, and I lost, and I was devastated. But then I ended up being president of the whole school district, which was actually better for me. So it just showed me that your failure can lead to success. And there's like a poem I guess we'll get to, but I'm not going to say it. That's it.
Thank you for sharing, Joy. So that's actually a really perfect example, right? That, you know, sometimes we'll have failures, but it's really important for us to not necessarily dwell or get really dragged down by those failures, because, you know, in learning from them and not letting them hold us back, it's possible for us to build success from those failures. Or it's also possible that a success is just around the corner unexpectedly from a failure that we just had. So Joy's was a really good example. And I actually have one that I can share with you all as well from my little chart that I made. So for me, a failure, just a general failure that I constantly come up against is procrastinating when I study for school. So it's really easy for me to just keep on putting off my work, and then things kind of get really stressful in the last minute. But a really huge success for me has been getting into medical school, and once getting into medical school, realizing that my procrastinating study methods aren't going to work. They won't fly during this particular phase in life. So it's been a really big success for me to figure out a good study strategy that's worked, which I really have, and figured out a note-taking strategy that has allowed me to actually like finally organize myself and be more efficient. So success, getting into medical school and getting my study life together, which came from realizing that my failure procrastination could actually only get me so far. All right, so feel free to go ahead and think of your own successes and failures and share them if you like on our various social media platforms. Okay, anything else before I keep on going? All right. So now we are going to think about where power comes from. So power comes from within and from knowing who you are. And this is a quote by Audre Lorde, who is a Black female writer and feminist. She said, "If I didn't define myself for myself, I would be crunched into other people's fantasies for me and eaten alive." which is actually one of the quotes that we have up on our Instagram. And so that leads me to our next exercise, which is a share aloud. And that is an exercise thinking about where are you going. So in order to know where you're going, it's important to think about where you've been. So on this, for where are you going, what I would like you all to do is kind of draw a line, just like a straight line, and then divide the line in half. And on one side of the line, think about, you know, things that you need to do today in order to get to your goals tomorrow. So the line will be divided in half. On one side, you'll write things that you need to do today. And on the other side, you're going to write about where those things will get you tomorrow. So for example, something that I mentioned in terms of my failures and my successes, today, not right now because it's summer, but today I need to organize and I need to plan in terms of like studying and in terms of what my study schedule is going to be, and I need to organize my study habits so that way tomorrow I can be a good doctor and actually know all the information that I need to know in order to take care of my patients. So today, just having better study habits will help me be someone who can take care of my patients tomorrow. So you guys can go ahead and think about that, things that you need to do today in order to accomplish the goals that you have for yourself tomorrow. Joy, is there anything you want to share to kind of give the girls an idea of what today and tomorrow, of what?
I was just thinking that, you know, like all our social media posts and stuff like that, we prepare like in advance so that they have it, so that it's something to rely on. So that's just it.
Okay. All right. Nice. Simple and sweet. Cool. All right. So you guys can go ahead. You ladies can do that in your own time. All right. So I have another definition for you all, and this is for the word empowerment. So empowerment is the ability to make decisions about personal and collective circumstances, the ability to access resources and information for decision making, and the ability to choose from a range of options. Essentially, it's the ability to exercise assertiveness in collective decision making. And as part of empowerment, making sure that you all feel like you have the ability to make your own decisions, the ability to kind of have control over your own circumstances and your own future plans. I have another brainstorming exercise for you all, and that's called redefining their fantasies into our dreams, right? So this kind of draws from the quote by Audre Lorde, essentially giving us the opportunity to make sure we're defining our fantasies and or essentially defining our dreams for ourselves, so that way we're not crunched up into the fantasies that other people have for us. So for this brainstorming, kind of just like the first one that we did where we made a 2-column table, on the left column, we're going to title their fantasies. Hi, Amani. Hi. So on the left column, we're going to title that column their fantasies. And then on the right column, we're going to have their dreams. And their fantasies are essentially ideas that people might have for us as individuals, maybe in terms of like where they want us to be in the future, or what they think our goals should be, or what they think we should be doing. And our dreams are what we have in what we envision for ourselves, what we want our future to look like. And it's important to really separate those two out so that way we can feel empowered to go after our dreams in spite of what other people's fantasies might be for us. So I'll go ahead and give you all an example of something that I put in the their fantasies column and what I then put in the my dreams column to really contrast that. So under their fantasies, I put their fantasies for me. So their fantasies for me is that I will make a lot of money. So this being like my parents, right? Or even just other family members, hoping that I will have a job that will make me a lot of money. That's their fantasy. My dream is that I will find joy and fulfillment in all that I do. So not that I would have a job that would necessarily make me the most money, but for me, it's most important that my job is something really fulfilling, something that I love and that allows me to serve others. Another example, under their fantasies, that I would be silent, and that I would just go with the flow. So this is something just, I think, for society in general, and how they might view me as a Black woman, that I just should be quiet and that I shouldn't be so combative or shouldn't express problems that I see with things. And my dream is that I would be bold, that I would be honest, and always just be open about what I'm seeing, and how I feel about it. So yeah, you can all go ahead and do a similar exercise, and hopefully it's something that you'll get a lot out of and you'll feel empowered thinking about your dreams compared to what other people might dream for you. So kind of rounding things out, nearing the end, through all of this, what DOD wants you all to remember is that you are powerful, okay? So DOD says so, but it's so important that you say it too. And I know wherever you are right now, I just want you to take a moment and just say it out loud that you are powerful. So I'm going to say it for myself, and I hope as y'all are watching this, y'all will take a chance to do it for yourself. So this is something I believe, that I am powerful. And I want y'all to say it with me. I am powerful. It's like standing in front of the mirror and doing your power pose and reminding yourself that you are powerful. So did you guys say it loud? Did you say it loud enough to hear and loud enough to believe? So you are powerful, and we not only want you to believe it, but we want this to translate into everyday actions. So now the question is, how do you translate this power into becoming the dynamic individual that you were born to be? So the answer is that you maintain a positive outlook, all right? So here at DOD, we believe in something called the probability of positive, right? This is how you translate this power into action. And the probability of positive means maintaining a positive outlook will increase your probability of success. So how do you maintain a positive outlook? The secret is swag. So here's a little remix of Kanye West, Can't Tell Me Nothing. It's a little DOD version. So it says, if she can move through the rumors, she can drive off the fumes, because how she move in a room full of no's. All right. So that little remix is essentially saying you can embody this power by staying positive, even in the face of people telling you no, in the face of people trying to impose their own restrictive dreams for you, right? You can maintain your power by staying positive and just having your own goals in mind in the face of all of that. That's how you have success. And on this final slide, we have ways to embody swag. Hi, Helena. I hope I'm pronouncing that right. So ways to embody swag and the probability of positive. I've listed out a few, and obviously there are more that you could think of. But one thing you could do is make a list of your goals and put them on a wall to see daily. So this is actually something I've done for myself. It's like not necessarily goals for me. I actually put up quotes on my wall. I'm currently in my room right now as we speak, and I'm currently looking at my wall where I have quotes that really make me feel powerful and that remind me of the goals that I have for myself. Another thing you can do is email people you think can help you achieve your goals. All right, that's a really great thing to do, especially being a woman of color, and you may not always be in spaces filled with people who look like you. And so it can be really important and super helpful to find people in those spaces that look like you, people who can guide you, that can share their experiences and give you wisdom. Another thing is finding a mentor. So essentially the same thing, finding people who can guide you and can share similar experiences with you. Keeping a journal is something really great. So it really helps that I'm in my room because I can just show you all these little things that I have. Here's my little, here's my little journal. So for me, this is something really great that allows me to, hi, Helena. Sorry, I'm just hitting pause to chat with some of our newcomers here. Okay, so while all of the technical things are being handled, I'll just go ahead and just continue going through other ways that you can embody the power of positive / swag. So I already mentioned making a list of your goals and putting them up on a wall somewhere you can see, or a list of quotes that inspire you and that remind you of your goals. I mentioned emailing people and finding mentors who you can relate with, women of color, people that you feel comfortable with who share a similar experience and you can learn from. Keeping a journal. So I already showed you all my little journal here, which can help you just think about each day, maybe ways you failed in that day, ways you succeeded, kind of like the exercise that we went through, and think about how you can turn those failures into successes to make yourself be the powerful woman that we all know you are. Another one is eating healthy and exercising because you're going to need your energy in order to make your dreams a reality. So something I love to do is I love to run. I run like really long distances and I run half marathons, and running and exercising, those are perfect ways for me to just like stay healthy. And I also try to really balance my diet, eat a lot more fruits and vegetables than I did growing up because I hated vegetables. But now, growing older, I realize that that is literally brain food and is what will enable me to have energy to go to school, energy to work, and to do all the things that I want to do. Last but not least, define and redefine your dreams daily. So I don't know about y'all, but when I was 8 or even 7, I wanted to be a pop star. And that is a dream that I've obviously changed. And my dream has redefined over the years. And now, and even after being a 7-year-old, my dream became to be a physician, and that dream has become more solid as time has gone on. So I remember, 7, I wanted to be a pop star. 8, I wanted to be a doctor. And then from then on, I've been thinking about what that dream really looks like. So now I'm thinking I want to be a pediatrician who works in underserved communities, who is able to support young women of color like you all in making their dreams a reality. So over time, I've been able to redefine my dream, make it more specific, and this is something that I hope y'all will take a chance to do daily as well. Okay, so that about wraps up everything. I'm sorry that this ended up being me talking so much, but obviously, like I said, you can feel free to email me at bianca@dodiaspora.org if you have any questions or if you just want to talk about anything. I'm here, I'm around over the summer and happy to answer any of your questions. All right, that about does it for me. Have a good night, everyone. Thank you for the 2 participants who were able to come in and out throughout the chat, and see you all another week. All right.